we officially hit a new level where somebody asked if we weren't doing the show anymore on Reddit because it's been a month, which I think is the first time that's ever happened. And you know what? You know what's really fucked up? It felt good that someone noticed. I know a couple people actually noticed. A couple people have bothered us and been like, where have you been? And the answer is around the world again and a little bit busy. What's up, buddy?
So you, last time, literally a month ago, you were leaving for the Netherlands. You were going to go to the Liquid facility in Europe. And then you went to Ireland after that. And we haven't talked about... I don't really give a shit. I mean, unless you have something interesting about that happened in Netherlands.
I mean, I worked with the team. You can see the work of the team coming out. This is where I'm going to take 15 seconds for like a little bit of a promo thing. We started a Dota Twitter, like an official new like platform for just Dota stuff. There's something coming up on the Dota channel like almost every day this month. We got another season of Time Lapse back with Tsunami. The first episode's out. It's doing pretty well. Jenkins helped me with the thumbnail a little bit. I made a bunch of shorts where like fucking Boxy's giving Pudge tips and shit. I'm commenting on YouTube videos on the Side Pull account and just delusionally saying the wrong things because I'm thinking about the next episode.
That was fucking terrible.
Yeah. It's, well, you know what? I did that on purpose for
I'd love to see the talent side of this.
Engagement, Austin. I was doing it for engagement. Yeah. So, that's what we've been doing. If you're interested in Dose, Ever Team Liquid Dose, if there's a fuck ton of things coming out, check the channel, check the new Twitter, Team Liquid Dota, and that's the bulk of what I've been up to. I was up to that, and then I came back and I've just been doing more work. And my 30-second summary of Dublin, small city.
That's it.
What did you do? We went to some bars. We went to like some like heritage sites. I feel as an American, I feel like a little bit of a kinship with the Irish because I'm like, yeah, we also fucked the British up. Like we got something together, right? Like our origin story comes from telling this king and queen to fuck off, right? So you know. And we also had a civil war. Yeah.
A lot of Americans are told they have some sort of Irish heritage, so you know.
If you were like, I'm Irish, I'd be like, you look the part. There's some red in your beard.
Yes, actually, yes.
Okay, so yeah. You like beer and potatoes.
I am apparently Irish, German, and Native American. So my ancestors all hated each other. Probably killed each other.
They did. Well, some of them didn't kill each other. Apparently.
Well, they might have still hated each other.
That's fair. That's fair enough. But I'm back in the saddle. I'm back in like a normal work week, and it's just in time.
You did that, and then basically you went to Ireland, and I went to DreamLeague. So we didn't plan our trips very well together to keep the podcast going.
We did not sync up very well. We were not in good recording conditions. Did you have a good time in Sweden?
Yeah, we had DreamLeague. It was a tournament that your team sucked ass at. Honestly, I could just see it coming. I knew instantly. I was just like, yeah, this is another liquid bomb out tournament. Because, they did well at Riyadh. It's an online tournament. They got TI coming up. They're going to play like shit on this one. Because that's what Liquid does. Low floors, high ceilings.
Hear me out, though. TI, that's what matters. Because they're going to be paying, they're going to be playing for like a pack of ketchup and like a free massage coupon. And there is nothing more motivating than that. You know what? It might even be a bottle of ketchup in a couple of weeks from now, not just a pack. There is something motivating about that packet of ketchup, my friend. So are we
already done with DreamLeague? We want to move to the TI prize pool already? We're moving on to a different topic already?
I'm sorry.
Team Spirit won DreamLeague. I don't know. I like legitimately the tournament was like good, but it's a filler tournament. I think everybody knows that. Team Spirit won. Shopify may be back in shape. TSM got in the finals of the Bet Boom Summit basically. They're doing a summit. So,
Is
NA
TSM
teams
fine?
in finals again. Maybe NA is going to do okay this year.
They want to represent on home turf, right? I was surprised at the TSM results. I guess I was also surprised at the Shopify results. When I looked at the bracket, I was like, did someone edit Liquipedia in a funny way? Like it's it's like it was like a double take, because when's the last time they've even been in the finals? Surely that was a talking point. It's probably been, I mean, that's not a DPC. Over a year. It was like last year's season is EG, right? So
yeah. It's been since Animajor, I believe. So yeah, it means Emo broke that team. They did not go to a finals until this DreamLeague. That is I mean, they're back. They couldn't stand to Team Spirit in the slightest, but they look like a top 8 team. Legitimately, like I could tell in the group stage, I was like, this team looks good. I think they're actually going to do well here. And they did. They got top of their group. They went through and took upper bracket finals by beating BetBoom, which maybe they shouldn't have won that game 3, but but then they took a game off Team Spirit in the upper bracket finals, and then they got a rematch in the grand finals, and then they got 3-0. So
do you think this is good for Team Spirit to be building up all this momentum, or are they just now the team that everybody is firmly looking at? Post Riyadh, post DreamLeague, people are going, aha, we thought most this year we were scared of Quinn and Gaiman, but actually we have a Yataro problem.
Yeah, Yataro's in really good shape right now, and Laurel seems to be pulling his weight on the team pretty nicely. I think the one person, Mira's popping off a lot. I actually think Collapse is maybe the quietest of everybody on Spirit. Still just not really his like iconic heroes are that valuable in this patch. So we'll see. Maybe that shifts TI meta and stuff. It's possible that Mars and Magnus comes fast, but
it doesn't even matter, though, because, I mean, if he's not playing his heroes and not even looking the best, they're still pretty firmly the best team over the last 2-3 months, right? So,
yeah. They're pretty sick. They win 2 tournaments. I put them as the favorites for TI because, honestly, they just look like they're in the kind of shape that's just not going to quit. I don't know. When this team gets hot, they look unstoppable. So
Cap, when's the last time the favorites won TI? Not a trick question.
I think you could argue Tundra was one of the favorites for TI 11. I would say Wings was one of the favorites for TI 6.
Going in or after the group stage?
Liquid was one of the favorites for TI 7.
I'll take that one.
EG was one of the favorites for TI 5.
I don't think...
I mean, we definitely, like, the modern era of Dota has definitely the favorite, the clear favorite team. If you took a poll, like, the number one favorite team has not done it. So is that your argument for Team Liquid?
I don't.
Nobody thinks Liquid's going to win TI.
I don't need an argument for them. I'm perfectly happy for them to just chill without having the world's most pressure and just knowing that they are going to commit to a magnificent story. They're going to finish the story.
Dana Gladiators may have started off having the best team of the year, but it looks like Team Spirit. I mean, they basically already did by winning Riyadh. They will have the best year, considering the prize pool. So they not only will they have the most successful year, but they've also had maybe the most successful content. Yeah, you thought I was going to talk about prize pool. Not yet, Joey.
Dude, what
do you think of their music video? I thought it was so good.
I have really mixed feelings about this. You know what? You might not guess what my primary thing that I thought about when I watched this was, and my primary emotion. I bet that you wouldn't guess that it was jealousy.
Jealousy. Yeah. Yeah. They're doing a music video thing, and it's working because like your team is friendly and charismatic and nice, and so they work great for fun, happy content. Team Spirit, they look cool. Mostly Mira.
They look cool.
But like Yutaro looks kind of cool, and like he's got like this kind of like weird like he's like a little chubby depending on which Yutaro we're talking about at any given time, and but he's got like this kind of like punk vibe to him that like fits really nicely. They're cool, man. They make them look cool.
I'm not even jealous about them being cool. I am jealous about the most stupid, nerdy thing, and that is I am jealous that their organization does not give a fuck about actually licensing a Nirvana song, and they just just do it. They just go with it. They don't have to do shit. I could never do that because I would have to get the rights to Smells Like Teen Spirit, and I would, and that's very expensive.
They already got you. You've already replaced the original version of that song with their version.
I've already replaced it in my head. Kurt Cobain, who's he? I don't know. I don't care. Courtney Love, fuck her. Like I am so jealous because the first thing I thought about is like, there's no way they paid the licensing for that song, and they don't care. Nobody's gonna sue them. They're like in Ukraine. That's not gonna be a problem. Maybe they're not gonna make any YouTube money off, but who cares? It doesn't make any money anyways. They're just doing it. They're just sending it. They don't care about copyright law. Ah!
So wait, isn't it a parody because they changed the lyrics and did their own thing?
So just changing the lyrics is not enough. This is when there's gonna be somebody in the comments who's like, actually, I'm an IP lawyer, and this is why it's not. Like, in order to be a parody or to be fair use, there's like 4 different checks. It's like it has to be transformative. You have to not use the work in full. It has to be distinguishably different from the work. And there's like another one that I forget. I had to know this better at one time. And the actual problem, I'm pretty sure, with it being like a legal issue is that they're just playing the actual song for like 35 seconds, which is not transformative or correct or parody. And then they launch into like a parody version, which is just them like, singing different lyrics over the... Look, I love the fact that they committed to this. I love the look that they did. I love the way they shot it. I thought it was really cool that everybody committed to the bit. Yutaro looked like a badass.
Or it did look like a badass.
They kind of lost me a little bit with both the lyrics and the singing. I would have probably pitched, and I do not want to be negative about this. I think it's super fucking cool. I probably would have pitched some kind of dub singer.
Yeah. They also lost me a little bit on the lyrics as well. I agree.
The lyrics could have been better.
I actually thought the chorus with the heroes, I was like, maybe that's how they started this song. They started with the chorus and replayed, because I felt like that was actually the strongest part.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, those heroes actually work. Because like the song, that the chorus is kind of just a random word salad anyway of just rhyming words, right? An albino, a mulatto, a mosquito, something else, right? It's just like it's so it works with Dota heroes when you just like list them out like that. But yeah, it was really cool. The shots that they did to make it look very much like a music video. And they did it before too with the previous one that they did. That was some sort of Russian song, but they did a really good job with that one as well. They found a nice niche that seems to be working really well. They got 2.5 million on their first video, music video, and this one has 394,000 views already in its 2 days.
Those are pretty good numbers, especially considering the Dota YouTube ecosystem climate. Yeah.
But they probably also get a boost because they're Dota, Russian, and Ukraine, and like that view. I bet if I had to guess, that the Dota YouTube algorithm is probably a lot stronger than English.
Probably. They should come out on stage at TI with eyeliner.
That'd be sick. I'd be down.
I think they should take that grungy look that they have and just do a full commit to it.
Yeah. I loved the outfit. The outfit's really good. Collapses was the really best one. He had like some flannel shirt and Iron Maiden t-shirt underneath. I was like, damn, that's cool. They fit right into the 90s grunge look. That was fantastic.
Has anybody else done like TI content yet? There should be some stuff hopefully coming out in the next week.
I'm sure Tundra is usually another one of those
they put money
content
in it.
teams, right? Yeah, they put money into it. But I haven't seen them release anything yet.
I think that we're doing ours the day before group stage.
Ours. I thought you were putting out a video every day until TI.
Well, yeah, but I mean that's like just a bunch of content. Like the actual like TI, like we're going to TI video is before the day before group stage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that your big video? Is that the video that you did the most work on?
I don't think so.
Okay.
You know, it's a bit more earnest and cool. We primarily focused on like a really, really cool photo shoot this year. So I actually think that our graphical assets are going to be what's really shining. The focus is on like all the stuff going to Twitter as opposed to YouTube. But there's still some cool YouTube videos coming out. I'm really happy with what we did. We actually took a lot of inspiration from the stained glass look of TI, just from the promo picture, and then like we shot in a church and had made like our own custom stained glass and stuff like that.
Nice, that's cool. I love the stained glass theme this year. I think it's so good. I think Valve had because like right they were going through colors and then they ran out of colors, right? So it's like, where do you go from here? And then they did with the volcanic theme last year, and that was just kind of like red but with a twist, you know. It was kind of like that one was whatever. This one, fantastic. This is a twist on blue stained glass. I saw somebody on Reddit posted that it's a reference to a very famous stained glass, like 4 different images that I thought was really cool. I don't know enough of that shit, nor do I care enough to actually know the original reference. But I thought the translation Dota is fantastic. So props to whoever had that idea.
And it's more than just like the just like the logo, right? Like the whole compendium, whatever we're calling it, like has a lot of that stained glass art in it too. Like the wallpapers that come with it, and the stained glass of the heroes to represent what they always do, like the heroes that won TI last year, the 5. Like really cool art. Like I would use that shit as wallpaper and stuff. Like it's actually quite nice.
Yeah, as art, I think this will actually be the TI to beat when it comes to assets. Speaking of assets, we got the TI invites. Everybody who gets invited, same thing as last year, right? Where you put in your voice lines and your picture and your signature and yada yada yada. Mm-hmm. And I was doing that recently, but I had to put it in a voice line, Joey. I came up with 3 different voice lines, but did I really need to do that when I already have a voice line in the game?
Finally! Finally!
Took literally a decade of casting Dota.
You did it!
For me to say something that was worth putting into the Dota game. Did someone finally source for you where it came from? Because I saw that you were not sure where the clip was from at first. Yeah, because I also wasn't sure if it was me. Because I wasn't playing Dota at that time. I don't remember what I was doing. Oh, I do know what I was doing. I was doing my like colonoscopy, and I had we recorded something together, so I had to go to Santa Monica. I was like really busy that week, so I wasn't actually playing a whole lot of Dota. But I didn't know there was they quote you inside of the game. When you use the voice line, they actually quote the person, which I thought was like, oh, that's a nice little touch. So. When I first heard it and clicked on it, I was like, I think that's me, but I'm pretty sure I kind of remember that moment. That's like a bit thing that I've thought about and you know, mm-hmm. I like action words that fit the theme of the character that's going, you know, like when I'm talking about Lifestealer, I think it was probably a life stealer. You know, he's eating. That's what he does. He eats you. Nom 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 nom.
Nom 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 nom.
Yeah. Or like, you know, Ursa shredding people with his claws and stuff like that. Anyway, finally got a voice line in game. I was happy with that.
It's a big
I wish
one.
that was my actual voice line though. Because it's catchy. People are using it. I've seen people use it. I'm just like, son of a bitch. Why am I not getting money for this?
You're like, no, this is the free one. Shit. Shit.
Yeah. And I'm not sure if I had very good ideas this year, so we'll see.
You're gonna. Are you at the point where playing Dota with your friends, they're just spamming your voice line for you now to try and annoy you?
I casted a game. I haven't played any whole lot of party queue, but I casted a game of the Goonternational. You know what that is?
No.
Yeah, you should know. It's Pyrian Flax's like in-houses. He does every week, all the time. Like Pyrian Flax is like a casual Dota community that like he basically brings in a bunch of like casual Dota fans that are interested in playing with other people and interested in playing like kind of competitively, right? Like Ted is actually generated a community for the people like that, because there really aren't too many other options. There's like the Reddit League and but there's not a ton of that. So Ted, you know, does that every week rather. He has his in-house and stuff like that, and this is like the end of the year tournament. And they actually the community that he has built up has actually put a ton of work into it, which is really cool. They have their own website. Some of the teams have like their own videos and stuff like that about the team and stuff. It's like pretty crazy. They get a bunch of like random amateur casters. So I casted 2 of those games today, and all 10 of the players were spamming
it. And you're like, well, how do I deal with this?
Yeah.
Have you haven't played much party queue? Have you been on the CS2 grind?
I don't play Counter-Strike. I don't play shooty bang bang. I watch shooty bang bang, but I don't play it.
Bang bang. I have been very mindful to try and not lose the life that I don't have right now to Counter-Strike, because it's very exciting for me. And I'm like, I want to play Dota. I want to play Dota because there's these compendium rewards and I can get wallpapers, or I can play Counter-Strike, the new game that I've been playing for 24 years, and I'm thinking 1,000 battle pass points or Counter-Strike. And it's a hard decision because, you know, really engaged with the compendium, Austin.
If you listen to the community of both games, you would know that you go for option C because both games are shit. Then Valve is shit. How dare they give us this dog shit compendium and this dog shit game that is CS2? The CS:GO community is mad. Boy, they're mad about Counter-Strike. I mean, like, I'm not saying that I blame them for that, because it does seem like the game maybe got released a little bit early, and which would be totally fine, right? Totally fine if they didn't delete CS:GO. Like, if CS:GO was still an option for, like, they probably should have left CS:GO for like another 3 to 6 months, or even just a month, because all I see, I check that community, I'm just like, what dumpster fire is there today? And I just see like random pro players. This is absolutely fucking dog shit. This game isn't ready. Why the fuck do I have to play professionally on this shit? And then right underneath, Simple's tweet is an RTZ tweet. The servers are fucking dog shit. Fix it, Valve. Valve is getting some serious shit from their communities.
Look, I'm not going to say that they don't deserve some of it, but like, it has to be so demoralizing. It has to be so demoralizing to be like, hey guys, what fire do we got to go put out today in our 2 games where people hate us a lot? Anybody want to go work on Artifact?
I was just about to say, there's that one guy who still works on TF2 that helped with the update that they got at some point. Oh, was it like 6-9 months ago or something? And there's that one guy who's working on TF2, and he walks into the offices after CS2 gets released and the compendium gets released, and it's like that community clip.
with the fire and the pizza.
Yes, with the fire and the pizza and everything. He just walks in. He's just like, "Oh, jeez."
I thought it was going to be a party today.
Here. Yeah, I thought you guys released your new game. What happened? Same thing goes with the guys who are, and then the guys who are working on the new games that Valve is trying to develop or whatever. Like they're just like, all right, let's not be those guys. Let's make sure our game is real ready.
And somewhere the Steam Deck people are in the corner being like, I wonder if we can fix our buttons. Man.
Do you think as a product, Steam Deck people got to be pretty happy, right?
Oh,
I feel
for
like
sure.
The Steam Deck was very successul.
I think the Steam Deck is super successful. I am a very satisfied consumer.
Yeah, those guys got to be like the golden child of Valve headquarters right now. I would have to imagine.
Yeah, I mean the hardware team kind of did some not that awesome stuff for a while. First VR was kind of weird. The controller was kind of weird. Steam Link was kind of weird. Steam machines weren't really a thing at all. Like, there's a bunch of like things that it feels like they took the learnings from all that and led up into making the Steam Deck, which is a thing that not just I like, but like everybody that I know that has one kind of is super happy with it. So I don't know. They're winning. TF2 guys winning.
Yeah, you gotta get through some L's to get to some dubs. That's how Nintendo came. Like Nintendo actually came up with the Switch in the same way, right? The fucking remember the GameCube had the fucking handle on it. They had this idea of mobile gaming, and they tried it with the Wii U and that whole thing, and that eventually turned to the Switch, which actually is amazing.
Yeah,
even if the Wii U was kind of shit.
It's true, but yeah. So I'm content with Counter-Strike. But I'm not that content with the compendium.
And why you're not? It's not exciting for you?
There's no incentive for me to play.
What? There's tons of incentive. There's the Road to TI challenge.
My first
which
challenge.
You could play a hero that was featured in the South American Division 1 in January 26th. You don't want to play one of the heroes that Beast Coast played when they defeated Thunder Awaken? Isn't that exciting? You could be like your favorite pro player, Joey. Name one player on Beast Coast.
By Hector. Fuck, that's nouns. Pacaz. Shit, that's EG. Chris Luck. Fuck, also EG. No. Shit.
Dark Mago.
Beast
you
Coast,
can be Dark Mago.
Beast Coast Wikipedia. Stinger.
What I don't get is Valve. What I don't understand about Valve in this compendium is the fact that, okay, maybe they're saving. Maybe they don't want to do Aghanim's Labyrinth again, or maybe they're saving that for the post-TI Battle Pass, which they make all the money from, right? Like that, I feel like they're saving some stuff for post-TI Battle Pass, just like they did with the other year, right? But what I can't get is that like you already have some things that were successful that people liked, right? Not just Aghanim's Labyrinth, but this Road to TI challenge is just a much worse version of Cavern Crawl.
Yes.
Right? Like I'm not crazy here. This is just a shitty Cavern Crawl.
So here's the thing, like when I open the thing and the first quest is like play a support hero that Insania used in the DPC season 1, which is like my quest, right? And it's like, do I want to play like Rubik or Oracle or Grimstroke? And I'm like, no. First off, no. Second, like double no. I don't want to do this. Can you give me a hero that I at least play like as a core? And it's like I'll re-roll. And it's like, hey, do you want to play this C Smile hero from when they farted on another South American team? It's like, yeah. I also don't want to play like Puck or Quap because I'm going to ruin somebody's game playing Puck or Quap, let alone my own.
Yeah. Also, the choice of games are just kind of like,
it's not curated.
You took away the DPC for a reason, guys. Like, these DPC matches are just not it. Nobody has any emotional tie to them. If you reference like historically classic games, then like I could. Like, I still don't think it would do shit, but like it's at least a better attempt at linking you playing Dota and TI and the history of TI and, but let me give you my Road to TI challenge. I've played a decent amount of Dota. I have completed through 2 of these things. I played Rubik, because Gaming Gladiators defeated Tundra Esports January 27th. Great. I played Rubik when Nine Pandas defeated Navi in January 21st. And I will complete my third one by playing Rubik when Beast Coast defeated Thunder Awaken in January 26th. So
not the most fun challenge you've ever had?
you just spam Rubik to get these battle pass points. Like, what the fuck? The Cavern Crawl gave you options of diversity and
yeah, and you know what? I almost never did the support one. I almost never did it.
Yeah.
It was fine. Dude,
There was like a fun strategy of Cavern Crawl of like, oh, I don't play that hero. So like I got to get around this hero. Like if you don't want to use one of the tools, you don't have a swap or whatever. Like I got to get around this hero. So I should play this hero instead and cut across this way. And that'll make it so I'd never have to play that hero to eliminate it because I've got both sides of it. Like there was things about like they have rinsed and repeated Cavern Crawl over and over and over again for like the last 5 years. But it did work. I would rather they just do another Cavern Crawl if they're going to give us a worse version of Cavern Crawl. I don't mind it because it's a successful product. If they just reskinned Aghanim's Labyrinth, I wouldn't mind it because it's a successful product. It's good. So, I just don't understand. I don't get it.
I don't understand why they didn't just release like one chest. Just like one TI chest with some money going to the prize pool. Cause I feel conflicted about it. I have
a theory on that.
It's going from 40 million to 3 million feels bad.
You think Valve feel bad about it?
They're presumably making less money too.
I mean, it depends on what they release after TI.
What's your theory?
My theory is, that whole like, hey, we do this because it's fun. We're not going to keep doing it if it's not fun for us. So like, maybe you guys should shut the fuck up. that whole attitude.
Yeah,
I think Valve's making a point here, and I don't even blame them for making this point. It's like, esports is so important for Dota. Our esports program makes us so much money, huh? All right, let's put that to the test, motherfuckers. No cosmetics. You get this compendium, and it is largely, it is the most pure esports compendium Valve has probably released since like TI 3. If you love the esport and you are interested that much, buy this compendium. You're not buying it for the hats, because there are no hats. You're not being bribed in this regard. I think Valve is sending a message. I think they're going to be like, I think they were just like, you know what? Let's see what a pure esports compendium actually generates us.
I don't believe that they're
and
just
it turns out it turns out it's like mil. Oh yeah, looks like 95% of the compendium was entirely driven by hats. What do you know? What a surprise.
They could have done like one treasure chest that goes to TI. And they could have had like a $10 million prize pool. They're leaving money on the table.
Talent and players just shut the fuck up a little bit more. Stop their bitching so much. Maybe there would be a fucking hat for this compendium, Joey.
Why aren't we seeing more people, more players complaining? Genuine question.
I mean,
because they're doing it behind the scenes. You know they're doing it
behind the scenes.
You know they're going, what the fuck, guys? We're gonna play, and it's TI. It's gonna be $2 million. Whoever wins this TI is going to be so excited, at the same time so fucking sad that they didn't win 2 years ago.
It is actually. I was talking about this on stream. I was laughing a lot. What, Joey? This whole like TI, success, like, yay, I did it. Oh my God, why didn't I win any of the previous years? What is the funniest outcome? Who wins that would be the funniest outcome in that regard?
Arteezy.
Arteezy. It's fucking Arteezy. Dude, if Arteezy wins this year, oh my God, it's so fucking funny. Like, I'll feel bad. I really like Arteezy. I think he's like a genuinely cool guy. I've hung out with him a number of times, and great dude. I like him a lot. But it would be so fucking funny if he won after competing for the last 9 TIs. This is the one he wins.
Do you know that if Zai wins TI, he will make less than his previous all of his third place performances?
Yeah. It sounds about right. Yeah. Why aren't more players complaining? Well, I think a lot of them are in TI mode. A lot of them are probably hoping that something changes. I don't think it will. I think that it's kind of a bad look to complain about the millions of dollars that you get to compete for.
Yeah, no one wants to be that guy, right?
It's like, I'm only competing for $3 million instead of $30 million compared to CS:GO majors are $1 million. It's like there are bigger esports that have smaller prize pools, and they're just as fucking hype.
Ask me what the League of Legends World Prize Pool is.
Yeah, I have no fucking clue.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't fucking matter.
It's penny. It doesn't matter. It's penny. It doesn't matter. It's worlds.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the reason I don't give a shit. Let me just say, I take a little bit of pleasure, honestly, on a lower prize pool. I'm like, motherfuckers didn't realize how good you had it.
Just to fact check myself real quick, just to make a point. Yeah. DRX, when they won Worlds last year, Korean League of Legends team, they got 22% of the prize pool. Their take home was
22%.
Their take home was $489,000. It was less than $500,000 for winning Worlds.
Holy fuck, that's insane.
Yeah, because they won Worlds. Do you know what Loud got when they won? Actually, hold on. That's the wrong champions year. Evil Geniuses won champions this year. Valorant, biggest esports in the world.
Okay, hit me.
Even Mill.
They took home $1 million.
$1 million. No prize pool split, no whatever, just a $1 million.
Yeah. So if you're a Dota player, your esport is smaller than those esports.
Yes.
You know, fucking Dota players have had it so good for so long.
The glory days are over for that. You know,
it's still the glory days. It's still fucking $3 million.
Dude, 3 million compared to 40 million, the glory days might be over. We're still eating really, really well, but that bubble might have gone.
Yeah. So yeah, it's, I don't know if how many players have that level of self-awareness to realize, but because, oh man, a lot of Dota players are pretty fucking entitled. So yeah, I don't give a shit about the prize pool. I'm still hyped for TI. I know the community is what's really bringing me down lately, and I don't blame them for complaining about these things. Like, yes, they should complain about it. I hope they do keep complaining about it, because, you know, like, Valve is not going to listen to pro players, likely. They're not going to listen to talent, likely. The one thing that does keep them on the straight and narrow is the community. If the community ever gets mad enough about something, Valve listens. You guys are the customers. So I hope they do keep complaining. But from a very personal view of this, I just can't stand all the complaining about it, because it brings down my hype for TI. Like, I don't give a shit about the prize pool. I was fucking hyped for the fucking $1 million prize, $1.6 million, like $1 million for first place for, I remember TI 1. I was hyped for that. I stayed up till, fucking 4 a.m. watching those games, right? I was hyped for TI 3. TI 2 and TI 3 when I got to go to Banner Royal Hall. The esport got big enough, we got to go to a stadium in TI 4. Like TI is special, and that doesn't change with a fucking shitload of money. That shouldn't change. Anyway, I care about Dota not because of how many millions of dollars go to the millionaire players. I care about Dota because Dota's a special game, and these players make amazing things happen inside of that game that I think is like boundless in creativity and the atmosphere that is required for them to be able to compete at the highest level under the intense amount of pressure. And yeah, maybe there's a little less pressure because, it's not $30 million, but I still think 95% of the pressure is there. I think somebody on your team, who was it? Somebody on your team said, I think it'll still be as hype and as much pressure to play at TI. It'll just feel not as bad when you lose. Because then you have something that's like, well, it wasn't the $40 million TI, Now you have that to fall back on.
It does.
And I think that sounded pretty accurate to me.
I think that is accurate, truly. It does do something interesting to Riyadh Masters in terms of event too, because $50 million is nothing to scoff at, but I think that you will see some teams with potentially lightly different priorities maybe switch caring about what tournament they think is the most important of the year. And is there validity to that? Is there would you blame a team, just random team, John Doe team, for caring about Masters more than TI now?
Yes, but one thing about that is that the timeline of Riyadh Masters and TI makes it so it's kind of like whatever, right? Like, yeah, you're going to care about Riyadh a shit ton, okay, but then Riyadh's over, and then you have TI, and it's still millions of dollars, and it's very likely the last biggest tournament you have to play on this patch, right? So there's nothing to hide. There's nothing. You might as well just go all out on it, right? So yeah, maybe teams put a little bit more priority on the boot camp they do for Riyadh, but like ultimately, like what's What's stopping you from going all out for TI? It's still the second most important tournament if you only care about money. There's still a lot of prestige to winning TI. It's still an amazing, or at least I hope it's going to be. I have faith that Seattle is going to be an amazing event. Because again, I think Valve, it's their home city. Their people are going to be there. They have pride in this sort of thing. They want to put on a good show. So I think Seattle's going to be an amazing event. And it's the kind of event that, like there are other things to play for other than just money.
Putting your name on the Aegis, like it's lame, or some people might think it's lame, but like the prestige is real.
Also, the fans are real, right? Like, you are playing in front of a crowd. That is something that Riyadh did not have, really. The crowd that was there was maybe 100 people, right? There's literally thousands of people. Like, this is like, that's pressure, that's prestige, that is something amazing, right? So I think it's still a pressure cooker. I think it's still a tournament that you put everything into. And obviously for this TI, I mean, I was laughing earlier because I was just thinking about the fact that, like, obviously Riyadh, I think one thing they wanted to do was be like compete with TI. I don't know if they thought what their chances were of beating TI on a prize pool level was exactly, but they didn't have to put nearly as much money into that to beat TI if that was their goal. They may have overshot that a little bit.
I think
they may have overestimated Valve on this battle pass.
I would not be surprised if Valve does a little something to juice it a little bit more.
Well, I mean, everybody I talked to, there was this thing. Do you, and let me test you actually real quick. Joey, do you remember thinking that it was going to be a $3 million base prize pool?
No.
You never remember that?
No, okay. I don't. I don't have a memory of that.
The one reporter guy who leaks a bunch of stuff, he leaked that. He leaked that, like, no DPC next season, maybe a smaller battle pass or something like that. And he put they're going to raise it from 1.6 to 3 million. And everybody I talked to in the scene when the prize pool first came out and they started the tracker and everything, they were like, I thought it was going to be 3 million. And it was because of that guy.
God,
that guy actually made it. So everyone had this revisionist history of, like, I thought when they put out their posts that they said they're, like a little bit lesser battle pass, and like everybody was thinking, like, I thought Valve said they were going to make it a $3 million prize pool. And it would have made sense. It would have made sense, but then you would guarantee you would be over the TI3 prize pool, which I think is something. But
you and I both mentioned something throughout this episode that I don't think we've actually touched on because of the gap, but there's no DPC next year. There's no DPC next year. And
how do you feel about that?
This is complicated. This is a little complicated for me because I think that for teams that are in a position of privilege, which is probably your Liquids and your Shopifys and your Spirits and your LGDs and these teams, your Tundras, your Gaimons, what have you, right? I think
has more privilege than the virtue signaling Team Liquid team.
Yes, nobody has more privilege than us. We are privilege personified. /S. I think that they're going to eat fine because if there's going to be tournaments that are propped up by like third-party organizers, maybe it's ESL doing a whole circuit, maybe it's a bunch of smaller things like what have you, they're going to want those teams there. Those teams are probably going to qualify through qualifiers because if you seed teams in an open bracket for a qualification for an event, who are your Tundras and your LGDs and all, everybody going to play round one? Whatever whatever Division 2 team is also trying to get into that tournament. It's gonna be easier to get invites if you're somebody, and it's probably gonna be easier to play qualifiers if they're open and larger if you're somebody. So I think that you will see these events have a lot of team homogeny. I think you'll see these team events have a lot of team homogeny, which means that I don't think a team like Team Liquid will necessarily be that affected from like a competitive or monetary standpoint. I think, as a lot of people have pointed out, this is probably not good for the Division 2 effort that has been brewing and bubbling for years about having a Dota pipeline and a more healthy Dota ecosystem and a way for, people to get in and feed into that Tier 1 scene. That feels like a path that is now on true dire straits and life support. And on top of all of that, we have no idea actually how many events are going to be next year, how much money is going to be there next year, how teams are going to tell their sponsors, like, how am I supposed to go to Monster and tell Monster, which, by the way, I'm not the person having these conversations, how am I supposed to go tell Monster that their jersey and our team is going to be at, all of these matches, all these events, have all this screen time next year for Dota? We have no idea. How do we sell that as a business if there's no like guaranteed us being at things or around things or even an ecosystem that exists? We just have to have people trust us that it's going to happen, which is fine for like Alienware, but probably not, fucking John Deere or whatever company you want to insert, right? Like, you can't tell them how the DPC works or what the screen time's going to be or how many majors there are. You can't sell that, and that's not good for teams.
Yeah, I think it's fairly obvious that ESL is probably going to take up a fair amount of the space. And while I love working with ESL, and I think that we, as the talent and them as the tournament organizer, make the best product that exists in the space right now.
For sure.
You want competition. And it is definitely the biggest concern after you took up all of the space and you kicked out, like intentionally or unintentionally, certain tournament organizers, right?
Blast, we play BTS.
WePlay's probably not going to come back. BTS isn't coming back.
Blast.
You said Blast?
Yeah.
What happened to Blast?
Well, I mean, they stopped doing Dota events right after since COVID.
Yeah, I mean, they just did that one event. I'm not sure if that was anything to do with Valve. I just imagine that they just thought it wasn't worth doing Dota events.
Fair, yeah.
Yeah. But, like, right, their Star Ladder is gone. Don't know how many Chinese tournament organizers are left. I assume it's just Perfect World, or, since they're the touchstone with Valve in China, right? I assume they're probably going to do some stuff, but like, I don't know if there's any competition in China left when it comes to that regard. Russian tournament organizers, obviously that's a huge problem. Probably not doing anything there, right?
Not internationally. Like, what are they going to do? Hey, everybody come to Moscow. Like, okay.
Yeah. ePulse got a ton of shit this year. I don't know. Like, if I'm Valve, I do keep giving them work because, like, I don't know if there's any other tournament organizers. You want to foster, like, if there's somebody out there who wants to do a tournament, like, you do need to foster that. Dota Pit was another one. I wasn't never a particular fan, but like, they used to do things, but obviously, like, there are a ton of tournament organizers, but they all got kicked out of the scene, right? For better or for worse. Yeah, Moondog doesn't exist anymore. Like, so it's literally just ESL, probably Perfect World or whoever the Chinese counterpart is, and then it's going to be BetBoom. BetBoom is the literally the new organizer that seems like they're willing to put some money into this and do that sort of thing. And maybe ePulse, maybe, I don't know. I don't know who's going to come in. So, like, yeah, it's all fine, well, good of just being like, okay, we're going to stop doing the DPC. I think it's kind of a failed product at this point in time. You know what the sad thing, really just like the saddest thing, I got to get this off my chest. Remember we announced the DPC and then COVID happened and we went this year without the DPC, and the fucking year where the DPC could have had like the biggest, the most positive impact. It's so fucking sad that, like, as we look back on the DPC, which I think has largely been kind of whatever, right? You could say maybe it was successful for Div 2, but like then that success is also rife with like match fixing and cheating scandals and stuff like that. So that it's like kind of weird to like prop it up as like, oh, this was successful for Div 2, Tier 2, Tier 3 Dota, but also like was the breeding ground for a bunch of match fixing and stuff like that. So like that's kind of weird. It's like like as a tier 1 product, it wasn't very good. Like the first year that we really did it in studio, I thought was okay, but frankly, it was pretty repetitive and bland. The whole format naturally made things very bland, and there wasn't a whole lot you could do with that.
Slow.
Yeah. So like the one thing that could have come of the DPC was the fact that it could have given us something during COVID. And but we didn't. I don't know. It just kind of makes me mad.
It makes me anxious. It makes me anxious for what is coming next. Because I don't think it's going to be bad. But like an unknown future is always the scariest, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, let's just say hypothetically, right? Hypothetically, someone at ESL really high up, just like, these numbers aren't panning out. Dota is just not good. And esports is on a recession right now. Let's just fucking close things in a little bit more. Let's stop doing some Dota stuff. Just do CSGO. What does the Dota ecosystem even look like? Because if Valve doesn't do the DPC, like if ESL was gone, then it would just be this barren land. like thankfully ESL is there and they do seem to be doing some stuff, but that does not make me feel good. Like if a developer is saying like we're gonna take up all the space, like fine, like you can at least expect some sort of commitment out of them. But like having the scariest thing is having a third party be control of like 80% of the space. Mm-hmm. Because if they just decide not to?
There'd probably be a little bit of a gold rush, but then you'd have a lot of like mom and pop Dota stuff coming around, which is probably of mixed quality.
Yep.
Because there's not going to stop being a demand. We know that. There's going to be a baseline demand.
Yep.
Which should keep ESL around, but maybe at a different investment level. I don't know. I imagine it's also not great for all the people who got jobs working on the DPC, in production, on camera, off camera, because there's just less Dota events to go around. So that means that we need less casters, right? Or hosts.
Well, I mean, most of those people are either contractors. So yeah, it does suck to lose that lifeline, but you also kind of lost that lifeline after every year anyway, right? And had to kind of like go at it again. Even if you have a good relationship with a tournament organizer, season ends, you got to look and hope you get it again next year. But then also like towards the end of the DPC, PGL had all of the regions. So that like, maybe it sucks. Maybe there are some people at PGL who are going to be hurting, but I don't know. Like Valve's relationship with the PGL is so close that like, I just kind of assume if it's something that hurts PGL that badly, I almost assume Valve wouldn't do it. I don't know, just because they've been thick as thieves for a decade plus. Well,
I'm excited for TI.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of excited for the next year. Like, I would not be excited for the next year if DreamLeague wasn't such a good product. I think DreamLeague is one of the best products that Dota has ever made. I think, like, you can hold the, like, summits, right? Mm-hmm. Beyond the Summit, and those deals, I think, those were like probably the best product that Dota has ever like made, and obviously it shows, right? Because then you did Smash Summits and all these other summits, and they're fantastic. Mm-hmm. I think DreamLeague is a great product. I think Animajor and Omega League were amazing products. I like that's the kind of list I'm thinking about. And if we didn't have DreamLeague, if like that wasn't as successful, and I'm pretty happy with that product, then I would be a lot more pessimistic for the next year. But more space and maybe more ESL investment into the scene means maybe we'll get more stuff like DreamLeague.
What does that do for like North and South America though?
Well, I have to imagine. Well, I know they wanted to have, like, this last DreamLeague didn't have Chinese teams, but I know they wanted to have them. I imagine it had to do with like TI and visas and stuff like that. They didn't end up having Chinese teams. Ultimately, the Chinese teams will also be able to look out for themselves because the Chinese scene is pretty, I mean, robust is maybe too strong of a word, but I think there's still enough interest in China for Dota and Dota events but yeah, North and South America. North America is the one that's going to get hurt the most, because I think South America also has a scene that supports and loves Dota, isn't interested in it. So, and I could see a world where we go back to South America for some events. I could see another major in Peru or Brazil or something like that.
Mexico City, let's go.
Yeah.
Visas are easy.
Yeah, Mexico is pretty easy to get into, visa-wise.
And
it's one of the more open countries.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Is there anything else on the agenda, or is that a show?
Did you make your profile yet? A lot of doom and gloom here. I will give Valve props. The Stink glass theme, amazing. The other thing, this profile thing was actually really sick. They did a great job with it, giving the license to the players to be as creative as they want with their profiles. Top-notch idea. Let gamers and the internet in general just be themselves, and they're gonna come up with some great content. So I have not built my profile yet because, and this is kind of like a me problem, I feel some kind of anxiety about doing it really well and like having it be cool or funny or like someone goes, huh. So I haven't like thought of an idea that I like enough or play enough around with it, because I feel like I need to have like a 9 out of 10 profile. Like I can't squeak by with a 7. I'll be unhappy. So I haven't done it yet, but I've done a little bit of playing around. But I haven't committed anything. I think it's fun. My single piece of negative feedback is that I've seen 3 different swastikas. Yeah, that's a classic internet problem. You give too much freedom to a group of anonymous teenagers and young adults, and swastikas are going to come out. That's just the natural results. It's sad, but that is what it is.
Yep. I don't know how you automate stopping that, but not super awesome.
The great side is a lot of dicks.
Also a lot of dicks.
Love dicks. Hate swastikas. Bad. Swastika's bad. Love dicks. Love dicks. Dicks are always funny.
I have seen a lot of IOs be testicles, which is...
Do you think that's too much for the title of the show? Hate swastikas, love dicks.
We'll see. I'll sleep on it. Well, you'll find out tomorrow when you open Spotify.